Russian drones have targeted the Ukrainian capital city of Kyiv at least 3 times in the past 24 hours. Ukrainian officials say that at least one person was killed in the latest attacks and claim to have shot down nearly all Russian missiles. Meanwhile, Russia has accused Ukraine of launching a drone attack on Moscow. Ukraine has denied any involvement. So joining me now from the Ukrainian city capital of Kyiv is BBC News diplomatic correspondent James Landale. James, thank you so much for joining us. Since you are in Kyiv now, I want to start there. What is the situation there?
Well, right now it's calm. It's a bright spring, warm day. But overnight, as ever, another round of airstrikes from the Russian forces. We reckon this is now the 17th such strike since the beginning of this month. This morning it was largely drones. In total, the Ukrainians said they counted about 31 drones. These are attack drones carrying explosives that come in to try and destroy targets. The Ukrainians say they shot down 29 of them, so that means 2 of them reached their targets. But as ever, the process of shooting these drones down causes debris and detritus. That means that buildings get hit. One tall apartment block in particular got struck. That's where 1 woman died, 4 people were injured. But as ever, the injuries were relatively modest simply because people here are so used to being woken up and going straight to the shelters because they know the risks.
So, meantime, Russia is claiming that there was a drone attack on Moscow. Ukraine says it had nothing to do with it. It's interesting. We know recently there had been, or Russia had claimed that there was an attempted attack on the Kremlin using a drone. There were a lot of questions about that. But what do you know about this latest incident in Moscow?
This morning's incident was much more substantive than the incident involving the Kremlin a while back. What the Russian authorities are saying is that 8 drones were fired at different targets around Moscow, the capital of Russia. They say they shot down 5 of them and 3 were neutralized by using electronic countermeasures. As far as we know, just a couple of people were injured. There was damage to a couple of buildings, so relatively slight consequences. But the politics of this is much more significant because the Russian Defense Ministry has automatically blamed Ukraine for this. So has the Kremlin. They have said this is, they say, a direct response to Ukraine suffering strikes here in its capital city and around, where Russia claims key military targets have been successfully destroyed. The key question, of course, for now is who's responsible for these drone attacks. Ukraine and a Ukrainian official has denied it, but Ukrainian figures have expressed satisfaction that it has been that these attacks took place. A spokesman for the Air Force said, and I quote, "Read, saw, rejoiced." Another man who's a presidential advisor said, "I was pleased to watch it." So there is some satisfaction in here in Kyiv that Russia is getting a taste of its own medicine.
Wow. James, thank you very much.